Halo Combat Evolved is the reason every first-person shooter after 2001 either walked taller or limped harder. You can argue about Call of Duty, Doom, or GoldenEye until you're blue in the face, but when Bungie dropped a green-armored demigod onto a big dumb space ring, the entire genre blinked, panicked, and relearned how to breathe. Halo wasn't just a game, it was a declaration of war on boredom. The second you crash land onto that first Halo ring and see the horizon curve upward, your tiny lizard part of your brain realizes, this isn't just another corridor shooter, this is gaming flexing on you. Welcome to Q for a Review, where we queue it, play it, and then backpedal into a corner while wielding a pistol that could dethrone monarchs. Let's get into it. Bungie didn't write Shakespeare. Hell, they didn't even write Star Wars. What they wrote was pulp sci-fi with Marines yelling one-liners that felt ripped from a VHS bargain bin, and that worked way better than trying too hard. Covenant, religious zealots in neon armor. The Flood, basically, what if your action figure collection melted into nightmare soup? And then there's Master Chief. He's the strong, silent type who's less a character and more a blunt object. That is what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object that also happens to walk upright. The man's vocabulary could fit on a coaster, but you didn't need him to monologue. You just needed him to look unbothered while unloading an assault rifle into a squad of elites. Now Cortana, she's the one saving Halo's story from complete self-serious meltdown. Snarky, sharp, smarter than the room, and constantly dunking on Sheet's lack of personality. It's a great 1-2 punch. Bungie knew the game would drown in its own military jargon without someone cracking the shell. So they gave us a purple AI with more charisma than half the cast of Call of Duty. But the secret sauce wasn't dialogue, it was atmosphere. Halo wrapped itself in mystery. Why is this ring here? Who built it? Why does it feel like you're trespassing in something bigger than humanity's war with alien zealots? Bungie didn't answer everything, and that restraint is why we cared. Back then, it made kids like me lean forward, not back. The bottom line is that Halo's story isn't genius, it's serviceable scaffolding, but the world is genius, which pulls you into the story, and that's why Combat Evolved still drags me back 2 decades later. It's like a soundtrack you can't skip, literally. This is where Halo told the entire genre to shut the hell up and take notes. Before 2001, console shooters were clumsy side projects, the gaming equivalent of microwaving steak. Then Bungie shows up, drops twin stick controls, weapon variety, and AI that actually tried to outthink you. Suddenly, shooters weren't just possible on a console, they were better there. These weapons still slap today. The pistol is legendary, a sidearm masquerading as a godslayer. The shotgun is just close-range therapy, and plasma grenades turn combat into slapstick horror. Even the needler, the pink death toy, feels like an inside joke between you and the devs. Bungie made sure every gun wasn't just functional, it was personality. This enemy AI was black magic in 2001. Grunts panic, scream, and flee. Elites flank like they've read Sun Tzu. And jackals are shield-wielding pests that force you to improvise. It wasn't just wave-clear fodder. It was more like a shooting gallery with teeth. Every fight felt alive because the enemies acted alive. You can even compare it to today's bullet sponge circus, where enemies stand still long enough for you to wonder if their Wi-Fi cut out. Yes, the level design has wrinkles and some missions drag, like the library is basically psychological warfare disguised as content, and backtracking through identical corridors feels like Bungie trolling us. But when the combat loop is this tight, you forgive the sins, because every firefight, every vehicle section was alchemy. Alright, after revisiting this game, Halo Combat Evolved looks like 2001. Character faces are waxy, environments repeat, and textures are flat, but the art direction saves it. That first reveal of the Halo ring curving overhead, that is timeless. The architecture of Forerunner structures, sleek, mysterious, and imposing. Even when the graphics scream early Xbox, the design says eternal. Bungie knew that style beats fidelity, and Combat Evolved proves it. Now the sound is perfect. Marty O'Donnell's score isn't just iconic, it's weaponized nostalgia at this point. It's legendary gaming lore. Gregorian chants slam into pounding drums, and suddenly you're convinced you're the chosen one, even if you might be respawning for the 10th time. Gun sounds hit with the right weight, grenades stud with menace, and the hum of a plasma rifle is pure sci-fi mood. The voice acting is alright, and it's even funny at times. Cortana shines, Chief grunts, and the Marines banter with one-liners that sometimes land, but they also sometimes faceplant. But the silence also is what matters. Bungie didn't fill every moment with chatter. They let the world breathe, and that restraint is rarer than gold in most modern games. Crazy thing is that the game still charms. It shouldn't. On paper, it's clunky, dated, and bare bones. But in practice, you find yourself forgiving the old school jank because the core vibe is untouchable. You're on a ring world, gunning down aliens, and listening to a choir make you feel like a god. It's stupid and profound at the same time, and that's Halo's magic trick. Before Halo, console shooters were a joke. GoldenEye was the exception, not the rule. If you wanted real FPS action, you played on PC. Consoles were for platformers, spiders, maybe a JRPG or two, and Bungie obliterated that hierarchy overnight. Twin stick aiming, balanced weapon sets, open-ended encounters. This wasn't an adaptation of PC shooters, it was the redefinition of them, and the industry felt it immediately. Without Halo, you don't get Call of Duty's dominance. You don't get Destiny. Hell, you don't even get Fortnite. Bungie's fingerprints are all over modern gaming, for better and worse. The better is obvious: shooters that actually control well on consoles. Cinematic campaigns that use gameplay to tell a story instead of drowning you in cutscenes. Multiplayer that isn't just a mode, but the beating heart of an ecosystem. The worst is also obvious: endless sequels, bloated lore, and military sci-fi overload. Everyone wanted to be Halo, but most only copied the surface. What Bungie had was pacing and balance. Also, a willingness to keep some things mysterious. And when the copycat stripped all those things away, the genre ballooned into excess. But let's strip the baggage, ignore the franchises Halo spawned, and Halo Combat Evolved itself is still revolutionary. Not just because it innovated, but because it did so without arrogance. It wasn't shouting, "Look at me," it was just being better. If you're watching this and you've never played Halo Combat Evolved, stop lying to yourself. Play it. You will not understand gaming history until you've been on that ring. Halo not only evolved the combat, it reinvented the ecosystem. And 20 years later, its DNA still runs in every trigger pull you make. Playing Halo Combat Evolved today isn't about graphics or polish, it's about nostalgia. It's about understanding how this game changed gaming forever, and it honestly cemented the Xbox as a real competitor in the industry. It's also about respect for a game that dragged console shooters out of the kiddie pool and into the deep end. Respect for Bungie, who pulled off a once-in-a-generation pivot. And ultimately, respect for the fact that Master Chief, a faceless grunt in green, became gaming's most iconic blank slate. When you pick up the game now, the flaws are obvious. Level design that repeats until you question your sanity, library missions that feel like punishment, a frame rate that reminds you the original Xbox was basically a nuclear toaster. But none of those issues break the charm, because the heart of Halo, the atmosphere, the combat, the music, and the mystery is still untouchable. Halo Combat Evolved gets a 92 and joins the backlog ascension. It's a relic, but not a fossil. Fossils are dead. Halo Combat Evolved is still alive, still playable, and still teaching lessons the industry somehow keeps forgetting. Play it today and you'll see how shooters found their backbone. You will play it and you will wonder why half the modern AAA Space Marines feel like knockoffs of something that got it right the first time. This game isn't just important, it's still a very good game. If you've never played it, play it. If you've already played it, don't just revisit it for nostalgia. Revisit it to understand what gaming owes to one studio in 2001. Alright, that's it for this one. Like and subscribe for more game reviews, and also check out my website for the written review, linked on my channel. Tell me in the comments what your favorite weapon from Halo is, and if you main the Needler, you're a psycho. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cue it, play it, slay it. Peace.